Low-Cost Airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
For professional staffing, there's only one name you need to know. Robert Half. Robert Half custom matches our candidates to your specific hiring requirements by combining personalized service from local staffing experts with an advanced matching technology based on 70 years of successful placements. For highly skilled accounting, finance, IT, legal, marketing, or administrative staffing, count on Robert Half. We'll find you productive, engaged employees. Learn more at roberthalf.com/radio.
Folks, we are back. Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline USA Radio Network, American Forces and iHeart, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. We have Chip Chirimbus in studio with me, and I am Frank Perez. We're going to be joined later on with Florida Rick. You know, we were talking about the Derby, and you asked me, do I think it will affect the money that he's going to make from stud feeds, right?
Right.
Well, I think that the trainer pulled him from the Preakness. I mean,
Right.
The owner pulled him from the Preakness. Yeah, I mean, whatever you do, once you start, asking for stud fees and you don't have that Kentucky Derby official win, sure, I think it's going to hurt.
So you think it's more of like when an NBA or NFL player gets drafted, they're slotted. They're going to get a certain amount of money no matter what. Now, do you think that this winner of the Kentucky Derby is going to get a higher stud fee than Maximum Security?
No.
Okay.
No, I do not.
Okay.
But now, and see, there's no telling how much it cost him, because had he won the Derby or had they kept him up,
Probably would have ran in the Preakness.
okay, he would have probably ran in the Preakness, and he wins that. Well, forget about it. Now he's going to Belmont. So this could cost a ton.
Frank, we had our own little pool. I think I told you about. Just 8-9 guys. I put in $10, and a couple of them took Maximum Security and put him on top, and one of my best friends did, and I was with him, and I said, he just won the Florida Derby, and in 145 years, no horse that's ever won the Florida Derby has won the Kentucky Derby. Right? So the Maximum Security crosses the line finish, and he's fuming. He's steaming at me. He's yelling at me. You told me he would never win. You told me no Florida horse has ever won, and still, to this day, no Florida horse has ever won.
Wow, well, that's as close as you can get. You had to actually get him taken down. Never happened before.
Well, he was a winner for 22 minutes, I guess.
But, look at the wacky things that just continuously happen, disqualifications done in sports. And then yesterday, one of the greatest comebacks in soccer championship history, Liverpool has to beat Barcelona by 4 goals relatively, because if Barcelona scores 1, they would have had the differential. Come back 4-0 in this game. What's the chances of that?
Yeah, like I said before, to me, that's sort of comparable to the Patriots winning the Super Bowl, being down 28-3 late in the third. Same thing, because that's insurmountable. You have to win by 4. I mean, if they had just played, how many of these international football teams just play with the ball and really don't even attempt to score? I mean, could Barcelona have just held the ball for the game and not even tried to score? I mean,
yeah, because I tried to run that by a few of my friends that know very well. Okay, so when you pointed out the Patriots, it was 28-3 Falcons. I think about 8 or 9 minutes left in the third quarter. Now, that was insurmountable, because even though you had Brady and the Patriots, the Falcons were very good. I don't even know the true odds on that. It's got to be way up there. But what people don't realize is that Liverpool came back to win this by 4 goals, but it's who they did it against.
Yes, that's
Barcelona.
right.
Well, I'm going to just chime in here, but Chip, your point saying couldn't Barcelona just have, parked the bus, right?
Right.
Well, that's a pretty dangerous tactic, to park the bus.
Well, whatever tactic they used, Nick, it didn't work.
Well,
so.
The thing is that the tactic they went for is really what they needed. It didn't matter if they lost the return leg.
Right.
And by the way, if people don't understand what we're talking about here, is that in the Champions League, the knockout stages of the tournament. So there's a group stage,
Right.
where it's just like the World Cup. Everyone plays groups, and then the top two come out of each group into a knockout stage. For the entirety of the knockout stage up to the final game, it's a two-legged match. In other words, each team plays each other at their own home.
Right.
So it's essentially a 3-hour soccer game broken up into two games
Right.
in each of their homes. So in the first leg at Camp Nou in Barcelona, Barcelona won 3-0. And Liverpool didn't score an away goal. And the importance of that is if the tiebreaker are away goals, where away goals are worth more than just a regular goal in terms of it being a tiebreaker.
So you're saying that Barcelona most likely would try and score?
So all Barcelona really needed to do with a 3-0 victory in Barcelona was to come to Liverpool and score one goal.
If they lost 4-1, Nick, and scored the goal,
they would have gone through.
They're winner.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
They're winners, right. So that was the approach, and that's a much safer tactic than parking the bus, letting an opposition team like Liverpool, which has very skilled players, putting the kosh on you for 90 minutes. You score one goal, then the momentum's with you, you score two goals.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what happened, by the way, in terms of the Liverpool performance. But Barcelona were unable to score, and of course they ran up against one of the
Nick,
best
you were
defensive
so
teams.
miserable the last time I was here.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I saw the score. I saw the remember.
Yeah,
I
well,
saw
it
the
didn't-
score come across, and I said, "Wait a minute, now this can't be the same Liverpool."
Yeah, it was an interesting tactic, and it when you have the best player in the world on your team, you assume that he's going to get your goal. And that's a reasonable assumption to make, by the way. Very reasonable
Yeah,
assumption.
because picture if Barcelona gets one goal, Liverpool would need to score 5 unanswered
That is
goals.
right. They would have
5 unanswered goals if they just get one.
The way it worked.
But if you watch the game, Messi was in there. I mean, that goalkeeper, there was 5 or 6 shots on goal that could have easily gone through for Barcelona. So,
Well, that's why Liverpool paid nearly £80 million for that goalkeeper.
oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, Alisson. Yeah, he's a fantastic, probably the
What's that?
best,
160
second
million.
best goalkeeper in the world right now, next to Edison at Manchester City. I mean, what you saw was Liverpool manager's Jurgen Klopp. He's German, and this is in his whole concept is what he calls heavy metal football. High energy, high pace, outrun the opposition, great skilled players, wing-backs flying into the game. The third goal for Liverpool was a cross from a 20-year-old Liverpool-born and bred kid named Trent Alexander-Arnold, 20 years old, puts a inch-perfect cross half the width of the field onto the head of Gini Wijnaldum, who scores. That is like a quarterback, throwing a perfect pass halfway up the field into the hands of the receiver through two, with two guys defending him. Except they do it with their foot to his head. Think of it that way.
Oh no, it was a brilliant play. Well, that's amazing. Congratulations, Nick. So, Chip, I was reading some of your latest. Now, I see in baseball, NBA, you have won your last 9 sides, 12-2
Right.
in the last 14, but the last 9 sides have won. Baseball, I mean, is that really? I mean, documented 19-3.
Well, that's 19-3. My top play. I had San Francisco as an underdog with Bumgardner yesterday in Colorado, and they routed. It's just, sometimes we've talked about this, Frank, about catching the rhythm and timing and the way places were. 2 weeks ago, we were both in the doldrums, struggling, and we said just take a day or two off and clear your head. And overall, it just seems to have been working. I got off to a slow start in baseball. I was about 10 days behind everyone else. And now I'm on par with the tops on the site, on the website. So particularly with my best bets, like I said, 19-3. That's pretty hard to overcome. It's just
fabulous.
Big games and big money are on the line right now, and I've been known to shine at this time, so it's working.
But even in hockey, I mean, 14-6 in hockey.
Yeah,
so that's
70%. Yeah,
That's Rick. That's 3 sports.
all money line.
I mean, I'll bet you right now you could probably go outside, throw $100 in the street, and it'll probably blow right back to you. That's how good you're picking.
Well, why don't you blow a couple of thousand out there and let it blow back to me?
I mean, you are really. I mean, that's all 3 sports, and that's That's good.
Yeah, but the first round of the NBA playoffs, Rick. I mean, I was like, what, 2-11? I mean, it happens and it turns.
Yeah, no,
you
I
just
know.
don't get. Right now, I'm feeling very, very confident.
I think we had a semi-choppy day yesterday. We gave out Denver. We hit Denver. We liked Philly, so we went 1-1 there. Baseball, I can't remember who we had, but I don't think we didn't have an awful day.
There was a strange game with the Angels being favored by $1.40 at Detroit.
That's it.
Yesterday.
We had the Tigers.
Well, I had the Angels as one of my top plays because at that number, to me, why would a pitcher that's never won a game be favored on the road by $1.40?
Yeah.
And the Angels haven't been all that great as it is. I mean, they were like 5-11 on the road. They come up favored. It's one of those don't make sense plays, and we played it and they worked. So went 2 out of 3. I lost a no-hitter game. I had Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
2-1
though for today.
So folks, today, especially when we get Florida Rick on, we're going to have some plays from Chip, plays from Rick. We come back. We got a real good. We got a real good rest of the show. We got some nice things we're going to talk about. So when we come back after this break and this timeout, Fifth Street Sports. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in 3 minutes.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com, that's MYEVOZ.com, to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Do you have a problem hearing the television? Do you need to crank up the volume so loud your family is screaming at you? Then put on your TV ears. TV Ears has helped millions of people just like you hear TV loud and clear without cranking up the volume. For about $60 with a 30-day free trial, you can get your own set of TV Ears. When you wear TV Ears, you can mute the TV volume for private listening or let others watch TV with you. Order in the next 10 minutes and take us up on our 30-day home trial and very special price. TV Ears is a brand hearing professionals have trusted for more than 20 years. And through this special radio offer, you can get your very own for just $60. Just mention promo code RADIO. So put on your TV ears and make everyone happy. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. That's 800-984-4207.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about Elite Rehab Placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912.
All right, folks, we're back. Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline USA Radio Network, iHeartRadio, and guys, and to the women and men and women in uniform on American Forces Network, we say hello and thank you. Also streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, I'm Frank Perez, and I am joined in-house with Chip Chirimbus, who is on a very, very nice little streak in all three sports, 12-2 NBA, 19-3 baseball. These aren't made-up things, guys. They're documented on Vegas Insider.
Yeah.
And 14-6 in hockey. So, I mean, he's zoned in.
What do we know about hockey?
I mean, you are zoned.
Trends.
Haven't you ever noticed, Chip, when you're zoned in and you're looking at that board and just all the little intuition and the value and everything that you've put together your whole life just seems so clear and you're confident. And boy, when you're not, it looks like hieroglyphics.
It's absolutely. It's exactly it. I mean, tonight I'm going to sit and I'll look at tomorrow's NBA games, and it just seems like the night before that game just jumps off the page at me. You started me with this Milwaukee on Game 2 against Boston, right. And I've been riding them, and I'm going to be riding them again tonight. I think that 9 points is an awful big number to be given to a team like Boston, and the fact that when they've played here before, the Bucks were 4.5, 5-point favorites, and now you make them a 9-point favorite. I think the bookmakers really want you to play Boston. Now, Boston can come out and win this game outright. I mean, that's the way gambling is, and sports betting is always a big question.
Oh, it's down to 8.5. Hey, guys, guess who's in the house? Chip, you see Florida Rick up there?
How you doing, Rick?
Hey, Chip. Hey, Frank. How you guys doing?
Good, buddy. We were just discussing. Well, we went through the Derby, and we had to hear this whole Liverpool miracle again, and then we were going through some of the, Chip. I mean, have you seen his record in Vegas Insider the last 2 weeks? And this is documented, Rick. So it's not one of these things where we hear these clowns on TV. I'm 20-1 and all this. 19-3 Major League Baseball, 12-2 NBA, including 9-0 on his last 9 sides, and 14-6 in hockey. I mean, seems to be pretty.
Chip is the real deal. He is the real deal.
It happens
Seriously,
once in a while. I'm one of the streakiest guys out there. Always have been, and it just seems to come into focus during the playoffs, Rick. The games, you have a little bit more insight into them, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you. But yeah, your record speaks for itself, and we've been saying this since day one, since whoever came on the show.
Yeah, I've been running well with you guys.
Now that we gave you all these kudos and everything, Chip, I'm sure you're going to give us a game or two in the third segment where it's talk you can bet on, right?
Well, I told you I stole your game for tonight in the NBA, but we have more.
Oh, good. Rick, are you got something good for the last segment on the picks for the folks?
Yeah. We'll have a couple nice picks. Hopefully, we do a little bit better than last night. We split the NBA, had a few losers in baseball, so that didn't go so well. But I think today will be a lot better.
Yeah, I forgot because I lost in baseball. I know we lost with Atlanta, right? And we lost.
Yep, at Atlanta. Atlanta was definitely the sharp side, but it was the losing side. So that's all.
They got routed, didn't they?
I mean, when you lose, that's the way you want to lose.
Oh yeah, I got no hit last night with Cincinnati, so a loss is a loss.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You lose, you're not complaining. You'd rather lose 12-1, like we said, than 1-0 or 3-2 in a walk-off, 3-1 over.
Right, exactly. So what else did we have? We lost with the Tigers. Yep, we lost to the Tigers. What else did we have? We had
I
think we had Toronto.
Toronto at home against Minnesota.
Toronto got beat, right?
Yep.
How about the White Sox? Any of you guys been playing the White Sox at all?
No,
because
I had Cleveland.
That kid had that lefty they had yesterday throwing. He can throw the ball.
You pronounced his name right, Rick. Was it
Giolito?
Giolito or?
Giolito. Lucas Giolito, yeah.
He throws a gem. Cleveland 2-0.
Yeah, two straight games.
I don't know if Cleveland is at the same level this season as they have been in the past. I don't know. There may be a little kink in their armor this year.
You think Minnesota can hold in that division?
It's a long season. I mean, the Mets started out 11-1 last year.
Wow.
Where'd they end up?
Oh, yeah. Rick, how's your...
Quickly going back to soccer for a second, I know we've talked about Liverpool, Barcelona all day yesterday, and we've already talked about it a little bit today, and I'm sure Nick talked about it for an hour straight last night on his show, but which is well-deserved. It's one of these games that you can talk about for decades to come, but there's a game going on right now which is kind of following the same script, but no one's – you mentioned that. Ajax won at Tottenham 1-0, and they were 1-0 and a road goal in hand. They were up 2-0.
Well, Rick, that's because you were not on. You were not on the previous segment where I was talking about the miracle going on in Amsterdam. I
didn't hear that. Okay.
Yeah, it is happening. Yeah. They have plenty of time, Tottenham, to get that goal and drive a dagger into the hearts of Dutch football fans everywhere, hoping for a resurgence of the once great Ajax team, who themselves have won 5 European Cups.
I believe the last one they won, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, was 1995.
Correct.
I was actually in Amsterdam for that match, and I had no idea what Champions League was. And me and a friend of mine were, going around to different bars, and then someone was like, "Oh, tonight's the championship game." I'm like, championship of what? Like soccer? I'm like, wait a minute, it's 1995. World Cup was last year. You got the wrong year, buddy. And he's like, no, not world soccer, club soccer. We had no idea what club soccer was. I mean, we heard of it. And sure enough, that was the first time I ever was introduced to Champions League. We watched the game. They beat AC Milan, I believe it was 1-0. We were in a bar the entire night, watched the game. The crowd, the whole city was a party. And we just walked. We had no idea what we were getting into. It's craziest night
that is
of my
correct.
life.
Yep. Ajax beat Milan 1-0 in. It was in Vienna.
I think it was Vienna. I want to say Vienna. Yeah.
It was in Vienna. Yeah, correct.
Yep.
So,
because that's the other thing we asked, like, who's at home? And they're like, no, it's not a home game. It's like the Super Bowl. It's played at a neutral site, designated every year. So that's when I first heard about the Champions League. So I'm kind of going for Ajax. I always kind of liked them since then, but I kind of feel like they're blowing this lead. They're up 3-0 aggregate, right? Now it's 3-2, and Tottenham gets one more goal. They're up on road goals.
It's 3-2 aggregate. What there is to like about Ajax, and we will stop with the soccer talk here, is that this is a very young team. The average age is 25. Most of these kids have come up through the academy. Within Ajax itself, I believe they spent a little less than $1 million on all their players, and one of them's moving to Barcelona for $80 million in the offseason.
Oh,
so that should give you an idea,
wow.
Right?
Rick,
so you got to love those teams.
Chip and I were actually, Chip was comparing this Liverpool comeback as to the Patriots being down 28-3 with 9 minutes to play in the third in the Super Bowl. Which do you think would have had greater odds? Having to beat Barcelona by 4 or down by 25 against the Falcons in the Super Bowl?
And the Patriots covered, but
covering.
I would say that the football, the soccer is tougher to do.
Gosh, I would have to say
we've seen comebacks in football like this before, but the pressure in that situation for Liverpool to have to win by 4, I don't know. I think that's a little bit. They get a little more kudos from me on that.
The only other game NFL I could recall that was similar that was that Houston Buffalo game.
Oh, yeah.
93, where Houston came back, Buffalo came back down 35-3 after Bubba McDowell had that interception touchdown in the first possession of the second half. And I was a huge Houston Oilers fan, so I was literally in tears, like watching my team blow a 35-3 lead.
Yes.
Yep. That was Frank
Kelly
Reich
came
game.
out.
And I'll never forget watching it in college and just not believing what I was seeing. And, that Tampa Bay, Atlanta, New England game was very similar to that. But they were down 28-3 instead of 35-3.
Right.
Different. So, I would.
And it wasn't the Super Bowl either. So.
Right. It was just the wild card round.
And remember, they came back from 35-3. There was no 2-point conversions then either. So you had to get them 7 at a time. You couldn't get them 8 at a time like Brady did.
Exactly. No, you're 100% correct. So that makes it.
And what was the line on that game, guys?
The line on that game was 3. It landed right on the number.
I believe it was 3. Yeah,
I had 3.5 with the Oilers.
It landed right on the beam. And,
wow.
But the reason that I mentioned that because the score was 35-3. Now with the 2-point conversion, you would have needed obviously tough, but you'd have needed 4 touchdowns and 4 2-point conversions. You would have needed to tie. They actually got 5 unanswered touchdowns in that game.
Well, they had to keep kicking.
Yeah. I think the Oilers actually kicked a field goal at the end of regulation to send it to overtime. They had actually taken the lead. The Oilers came back and got a field goal to send it to overtime. And of course, me knowing, being an Oilers fan, I knew there's no way we're going to win this game. So, it was just, they're just delaying the inevitable, and that's what happened. But yeah, I'll never forget that. Just like I'll never forget the Patriots Super Bowl, and then this Liverpool game yesterday was the soccer equivalent of those 2 games.
So Chip, you actually remember that because I won that game.
Yeah, I did too. I took that. I know I had the Houston because At 35-3, it was on a Sunday, I believe, and I was pretty much unconscious from the Saturday night. I went to bed, and I never saw the second half. My phone was ringing, and people were screaming as to what was going on, and I found out later. I said, what's it? I had the hook, so I wasn't worried about it. But like you said, I think universally that game was probably a push for almost everybody.
It was. It was.
Yeah,
I know a lot of, because that's when I came back from Maryland, and my friend sent me money, and I bet it for him, and I had to give him a refund, send it all back. Except for I bet some of it on the money line, so I did win that.
You had Buffalo money line.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
and I thought I was dead. I think I laid $1.50 because I got a good price at the Horseshoe, and the next thing you know, I got there.
Well, you didn't tear up your ticket like a number of people at Churchill Downs, did you?
No. Oh, you think a lot of people tore up?
No, I don't think anyone does. I think everyone's aware of that nowadays. That you just don't throw a ticket away until you know it's final. Especially if there's an inquiry like that. I mean,
22-minute objection, I think it was, right?
Yeah. The only time you don't have to worry about throwing away is if you're at the dog track, because there are no inquiries. They do anything they want. They garnish each other out there for crying out loud.
Guys, this is Fifth Street Sports. We're going to come back for the segment of talk you can bet on. You got a great daily double here with Chip Chirimbus and Florida Rick. We're going to be back right after this timeout.
Jared has hundreds of gifts you could get Mom this Mother's Day, like a tennis bracelet.
Aww.
Or a diamond necklace.
Thank you, sweetie.
But there's only one that will make her feel like this.
Yes!
With Jared's Diamond Price Match Guarantee, you can finally get Mom the one gift she's always wanted.
Oh, I love you so much.
For you to get engaged. Shop at a Jared store today and dare to be devoted.
We promise to match any price on a loose certified diamond of the same characteristics and quality from any other jewelry retailer as validated by Jared personnel in store. See jared.com/price match for details.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
I'm Nick Ebram. I like to have a nice smooth shave. I do have a goatee. I like to make sure the skin around it is nice and smooth. And you know, when you're using one of those disposable razors, you never know what you're going to get. You don't get a great shave. I tell you, I have found the solution to my shaving issues with Harry's razors. Non-slip, comfortable handle. I think these are absolutely the best. Right now, you can get a $13 value trial set. Comes with everything you need for a close, comfortable shave. Weighted ergonomic handle, a 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip, a rich lathering shave gel, a travel blade cover. You can get a $13 value trial set right now. Go to harrys.com/World Soccer. Go right now, harrys.com/World Soccer. Redeem your offer right now and let them know that I, Nick Ebers, sent you. harrys.com/World Soccer to go get your Harry's razors.
Trade Pros. Ferguson is committed to making business with us the easiest part of your day. Ferguson.com is designed to help run your business from the office to the job site by making your day-to-day activities easier with 24/7 account access, unmatched online inventory, and on-the-go account management. And with our Pro Plus customer loyalty program, you can earn points with every online purchase, redeemable for merchandise, event tickets, trips, and more. Sign up today at Ferguson.com.
Folks, Fifth Street Sports, we're back. Talk you can bet on here on the American Forces Network, also streaming on Facebook and YouTube. And don't forget us on iHeartRadio and also the Sports Byline USA Radio Network. We got this is like Tinkers to Everest to Chance here. We got Mr. Florida Rick and Chip Chirimbus in the house. Guys, talk you can bet on. Rick, let's start with Chip over here. This guy's on fire. Give us something, Chip.
Well, in the NBA, I told you I'm going to follow your lead. I'd like the Milwaukee Bucks. I think that line is Rick. I think that line is way strong for a team that's been 4.5, 5-point favorites at home in previous matchups against the Celtics. And are people expecting the Celtics just to be able to put it together now? I don't see it. I really think that they're sponded.
His audio. I mean, his vision.
Yeah, no.
It's a little bit frozen.
So
are you trying to say but now the line's down to 8.5. So Chip, it doesn't make any sense to you, this line, right?
Well, the lines maker set it at 9. The public didn't set it at 9. If the public had set this line, I think they probably would have set it at 5.5 or 6. Boston's in need, and we've seen that the odds makers adjust the numbers for the teams that are in need. They're inflating them, and Boston's in need here, so they should bring this number down. But I think they see a real dominance here. The Bucks have never been there before, so maybe they're not going to casually walk through it. They're going to just try and take advantage of it as best they can. This has been the best team in the NBA all year, Frank. I mean, they've got the best record and one of the best point spread records, and I think that number's high. I just think that the general public, and for the most part, people are going to say Boston plus 9 in an elimination game situation is the way to go. So I'll be the Antichrist, and I'll take Milwaukee.
What do you say about that, Rick?
I'm with Chip. I like Milwaukee here too. I think Boston's had some severe problems the last few games. I don't see them correcting it tonight. It looks like everyone sees Kyrie Irving leaving and probably joining the Knicks in the offseason with Kevin Durant. And he just doesn't seem like himself right now. And I don't think just because it's a closeout game it's going to change. I kind of see this game as being a blowout. I don't know. Maybe Boston will be in it early, hang with them early. I'm not even sure if they will, but I fully expect Milwaukee to come out in the second half and dominate, put them away, and go right on to the conference finals. I just don't see this being a close game.
I was going to say, Frank, one of the biggest sins in sports, and is this Justin Hayward, what's happened to him? Because Gordon Hayward, he was a consummate all-around player, sort of like a Bobby Jones type that was very, very efficient defensively, offensively, sharing the ball, and it's a sin what's happened to this guy in his career. I don't know if he's ever going to get back. He's just too much. It's a really severe injury to overcome.
He definitely has shown flashes of brilliance and what he was before in the first playoff series, and even game 1 against Milwaukee. But yeah, he's kind of reverted back to his ways the rest of the year, the last few games. I think he's going to get there, but I think it's going to take him another year.
That was my question. Do you think in time he'll be able to get back to what he was full strength-wise, or will he always have something impaired in his brain that he can't do it?
Yeah, that's the thing that I worry about too, because I kind of, I've had nothing that serious, but I've had injuries playing basketball and such too. And then you start, it gets in your head. Well, I don't want to jump now because I'm afraid I'm going to land on someone's foot. I'm afraid I'm going to tear up my knee if I jump too high here. So, maybe it's different if you're a professional and you're getting, $20 million a year. You can kind of think differently. I don't know.
Look at our boy Stanton and what happened with him. I mean, since he's been hit, he's never been the same. He has a number of different helmets that have different degrees of face masks to cover, depending on whose opposition is pitching. If he's got a slow lefty, he doesn't have a face bar. If he's got a hard-throwing righty, I mean, he virtually looks like an NFL quarterback hidden behind a screen. So I think he still hasn't come across it, I think, mentally 100% from what happened to him.
Hey, well, Rick, I caught that you were talking about, are you going to tell me that Durant and these guys are thinking of going to the Knicks?
That's the word.
That's what's being reported, and that's most likely going to happen, especially Durant. Irving, we're not sure, but it seems like they kind of are going to be a package deal and end up both in New York.
Why would they – now, do you think that Durant and an Irving, what would that do to the Knicks?
It'd make them a go against as far as the point spread is concerned.
You think that they would – the Knicks, as awful as they were with these two guys, they'd make it to the playoffs?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. It's just a matter of what seed would they be. I don't think they'd be a top 2 seed, but I definitely think top 4.
They're getting something out of the draft. I mean, they can do no worse than 3rd. Am I correct about that, Rick? I think as far as being able to select someone, they may not get Zion, but everyone seems to think that he's automatically going to play Madison Square Garden, and I don't get it because they don't have the first pick. I mean, their chances 14% for the first pick, and I think they're guaranteed no worse than third. So,
jeez.
Yeah.
Who's
Well,
going to go there?
Why would he go to the
There's some
Knicks, though?
decent
Why,
young players.
why would he want to go to the Knicks?
Well, I think in Durant's case, it's because he's been vilified so much by going to Golden State and basically not building his own championship team, but just joining one. And so now he's kind of wants to prove that he can, on his own build a championship team, and he'll recruit Kyrie over there. And who knows, maybe they'll get another all-star player as well. That's what I'm thinking.
Wow.
He's already proved himself to be as good as he is. Maybe the best all-around scorer in the NBA, probably the best all-around scorer in the NBA. So, now he goes to the Knicks, and that he.
I think the players, in answer to your question, Frank, the players really think the stature of playing at Madison Square Garden in New York is pretty tough to beat. And if he can win there and he can get it done there, it really puts his brand in a different place than it is now.
So is that like the Sinatra song? If he can make it there, he can make it anywhere?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Kate Smith just got bounced.
Well, yeah. Well, you guys, I mean,
I saw that. That's a whole other topic. That we
I
can
know.
talk
I
about
just
if you
can't
guys
believe
want.
it.
hey, but now that we're spreading news, you guys, now that we're spreading the news, let's spread some baseball news.
All right.
What do we got in baseball today we can make some dough on?
Go ahead, Rick.
All right. I'll give out a game that I like first, and then we can maybe hear from Chip. I'm always anxious to hear about Chip's picks more than any other person out there. So I'm going to go first, though, and I'm going to take Chip's Cincinnati Reds. I'm going to go right back with them tonight. After getting no hit last night, I kind of think Sonny Gray has been pitching well this year. Oakland's going to be on that high of the no-hitter last night. I kind of like fading teams who throw a perfect game of no-hitter the night before. Maybe, they have extra celebration. They're just coming off such a high that they have to play the next day. And I think they're usually a good fade. So I'm going to take Cincinnati. Without even money, maybe +01, +02.
I agree, Rick, with Sonny Gray coming back. And I would love to have been using Cincinnati tonight, but after using them yesterday, and you don't want your client to say, oh, he's going to be chasing. If I lose again, am I going to take him 15 times in a row? So I try to avoid coming back with the same team I got beat with the night before, though I really like your idea of coming with a team that got no hit. I've actually played a game tonight where I have a team that has they haven't scored more than 5 runs more than once in the last 9 games, and that's Toronto. They're really struggling at the plate. They've been shut out 2 games in a row, Rick. Mm-hmm. And yet, I don't know. They got beat so badly by Minnesota last night that that my one side in baseball today is Toronto. That's my one side. But I think you're right with the Reds because of the factors that you mentioned.
Now, did he get no hit or a perfect game?
No hit. No hit.
Or was it a perfect game?
No hit.
No,
okay.
It was two walks. Two walks. And a couple of amazing defensive plays. Laureano robbed Joey Votto of a home run in the top of the 8th. He clearly went over the wall and robbed him of a home run.
I think every no-hitter a perfect game. Rick, every no-hitter or perfect game that I've seen probably always has at least one. Like even you were talking about the Larson game. Didn't Mantle or somebody
made a great running catch? Yeah.
I mean, every game has 1 or 2 gems, right?
Yep. And this is his second no-hitter, by the way. He threw in against the Dodgers 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
And he'd been struggling this season completely. I mean, ZRA entering this game, Rick, was it about 9 or in around there? And that's why
I think it's about 6.5, but it was up there.
I felt like it was 9. I mean, and I was looking for, and I knew Oakland was in a bad spot. I mean, Cincinnati, after playing, at home and going out there, and the A's had lost 8 of 9 on the road, and they come home, and sometimes you go, they need a win badly, and other times you come home and go, they need a day off, and they came out and they waited 3.5 hours to start the darn game. I
saw that they had a 11:45. They had a lighting issue, I believe.
Yeah, I know. I had the other 2 games were in, and I was just waiting, and now I was going to catch it in the morning, and first thing I heard was no hitter, and I said, okay, I guess.
Probably didn't win.
Yeah, you didn't win that one, though it has happened. We know that.
No, I said it has happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's happened numerous times. I think.
What was it? Dick Maloney or Mahoney or some for Cincinnati, and those guys did it.
You know what? I'm Googling something here, you guys.
I remember there was an Andy Hawkins game back in 1990 or 91. He threw a no-hitter and had lost the game outright. That's the one I clearly remember, but there's been other ones.
Yeah, I like those games where they pitch a no-hitter but walk 9. You know, they just their stuff is so nasty. The catcher can't catch it, the players can't hit it, and he can't throw it over the plate either. But that's
throwing 98 miles an hour, but who knows where it's going? Yeah, that's definitely happened. So
some of these guys
it wouldn't have been the first time.
Some of these guys nowadays can really throw, and there's so many more hard throwers in baseball than in years past. There used to be. You had a couple of guys that would throw over 95. Now every team has like 4 or 5 guys that do that. And they're all approaching 100.
Yeah. I remember, growing up, someone's throwing it over 90, and that was kind of considered fast. You throw 92, 93, and they would call it electric. Now you're throwing 92, 93, and they're like, wait, is that your changeup? So
if you're throwing 92 or 93, you have to be a lefty so that the ball's going to be moving enough for you, because the righties will just pound. Your ball can't be straight nowadays.
And how about, I was going to say, how about Jordan Hicks? This guy is throwing consistently 105, 106, and with movement. That's something that's unheard of, too. I mean, the only one who's approached that in the past was Chapman, and now he's surpassing Chapman.
How long are these guys going to last? It just seems like all these guys come out, and within 2 years, didn't Detroit have some guy that was throwing 102, 103, and within half a season he was gone? I mean, there's hard throwers, but I'm wondering if the body is designed to, it's more applicable, shall I say, if you're throwing underhand like a softball pitcher than overhand. That's why there's so much rotor cuff problems.
Well, I mean,
exactly.
Maddox had a beautiful delivery.
Yep.
And he was so smooth. It looked like ballet out there. How flawless it was. But here's the thing about you're talking about throwing hard in complete games. 30 years ago in Major League Baseball, there were 622 complete games. Last year there was 42.
Wow.
And this year they expect to be even less. It's dropping by 20 to 30% a year. Complete games. They think within 2021 we'll be down to single-digit.
Well, how can you have a complete game, Frank, when a guy pitches a perfect first inning and they're taking him out and bringing somebody else in the second inning? And right, we got guys in Tampa Bay doing this. Scioscia's doing it in L.A. They're throwing a guy out there for 1 inning.
No, but even like how about the other day?
Cost me a bet.
Snell's got a perfect game going through almost 6 innings, gives up a hit, and that's it. And then you get a nice lead. They yanked him after 6.
Yeah.
I mean, normally,
no
you
problem.
think Carlton or Gibson or anybody would have given up the ball at that point? No.
But you know what the joke is too, with how they say, well, they're on 100 pitch count. Well, now when they get to 80, they start panicking. Then they don't even wait to get to 100 anymore.
What I don't understand is, Nick and I were in the 60s and 70s. Well, he was even maybe a little bit earlier than me. But I was with Gibson and all these guys. The Twins, I mean, look at the Oakland A's with these animals that they had. These guys pitched. Gibson was never hurt. Carlton was never hurt. None of these guys, they pitched 20 complete games a year. Now they're on 100 pitch count. Kershaw's always hurt. This guy's on the DL. That guy's hurt.
Well, Kershaw's got a very unnatural motion. I mean,
gosh,
I can see him being hurt a lot.
I mean, but if you're gonna have a 100 pitch count in 80, you should never be hurt.
No, like so many of these guys, like say Dwight Gooden, like you're talking about smoothness. Some of these guys were so smooth. Dwight Gooden was rhythmical and had Nolan Ryan, as big as he was rhythmical, and they just had that flawless delivery, and nothing was ever going to happen to these guys.
Folks, when we come back, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to recap our picks. Fifth Street Sports back right after this timeout. Don't miss it. We're going to recap our games.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992. It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But The Secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Folks, we're back. Fifth Street Sports, Sports Byline USA Radio Network. It's been a great show. I've had Chip Chirimbus and Florida Rick. Hey,
Frank,
look at this.
It just happened.
Oh, my God. He's just hit a Tottenham goal. I mean, this guy's getting everything he wants.
It just happened. Wow. In the last seconds of stoppage time.
Was it in stoppage, Nick?
Yeah, the 5th minute.
Like literally last kick of the ball.
Oh, my God. You're going to tell me the last kick of the ball just eliminated Ajax from the thing? That's ridiculous.
That's incredible. I can't believe this has happened. Wow, we're talking about the biggest the two
it's like Vince Lombardi. What the hell's going on around here?
This is sports.
Hey, you guys, Chip Chirimbus has given, hot 12-2 NBA, 14-6 hockey, 19-3 MLB. Tonight he likes the Toronto plus $1.21 at home against Minnesota. He said that. And he's going to go with the Milwaukee Bucks. You can lay 8.5. Rick, real quickly, what did you have?
I agree with Chip on Milwaukee. I do actually kind of like Houston Rockets tonight again. They've covered every game. I don't see why they're going to get blown out this game, so I would lean to the +6 there. And then I give out Cincinnati coming off the no-hitter last night to come back and win tonight.
Unbelievable. This guy's, I'm just going to right now, I'm not doing poorly, but I'm not zoned in like this guy. This guy right now, he could probably see a gnat on the moon, you know what I mean?
By the way, I did give out Houston as well. And originally everyone said, there's no way Golden State's going to lose this game. When I hear they're not going to lose no matter what, I have to think and fade them a little bit. You know?
I love this guy. I mean, he thinks exactly like we do. This is called, folks, this is called experience, knowledge. After a certain amount of time, there's a wisdom that's forced upon you, whether you want it or not. When you've been gambling 50 years in and out of the business. Oh, and I got Nick. Okay, first he gives. We still got 45 seconds, Nick, on this? Okay, so they want me to start taking it out. Rick, let's recap it, buddy. Hey, thank you very much, buddy. Great show. Chip, thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow again. Good luck to us tonight, folks. We thank you and appreciate you much for listening and watching us here on Fifth Street Sports. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Be safe and good luck to all of us tonight.
Gonna help you. Did you guys bet it?
No. Now Tottenham down 2-0. They need 3 unanswered goals in the second half. What's the chances of that? This is like.
You're gonna start doing some in-game betting, and then you'll know what the answer is.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
The Democratic-controlled House Judiciary Committee votes 24-16 to